Who's going to interview you?
In
Who's gonna interview you?
In Austin, Texas, and in San Antonio.
Good.
Yeah.
Did you apply for that? Is that something from mine?
Yeah, I applied in Minga. It's a Colombia-based agency, and you know, it's a direct hire, and I like the way also how they handled, you know, international teachers, and then they are very transparent in terms of how they hire teachers.
And they're gonna do it.
You know, the screening is so tough. Yeah, Doc.
So you're gonna get a J1 visa though, or H1B?
It's a J1 visa. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a J1 visa, and
yeah, there should be some J1 visa available now after October 1. So they said more in January, but yeah. So there should be a lot of interviews.
I have, you know, their setup in having an interview is, you know, it's new to me. They require us to have a demo teach for around 10 minutes. There's a setup given to us, and what says here in my paper, there's a 5-minute introduction and explanation of the activity, and then 10-minute sample teach, and 5-minute feedback and reflection question, and 5 minutes reflection question on your lesson planning. So I emailed them and then asking for how to do the 10-minute, you know, sample teach. And they said that it's more on how I present the activity in class. Yeah.
Just make sure you start with of course greeting your students, and then start with your objectives. You know, what are the things, your goals and objectives, that at the end of this class you should be able to do this, you know. And so also show your differentiation. How are you gonna, you know, you're gonna pair them up. What are you gonna do in order for you to help everybody, not just you discussing, but really you're gonna be more of a monitoring them. I'm sure you'll do fine. You let us know, okay? Get us an update. I see. Oh, Jing is here. I invited Jing to come, and Jing, you'll be one of our special speakers today. Jing has not been. Jing has been here. This is what, your first year, right, Jing? We're gonna get right on. We're still trying to get everybody in, but there's Rose Ann. Jing, do you mind if you'll be the first one to talk? I want Jing to share her experiences for this school year. She's at Helena, and so she started this school year. So Mike, you know Jing, right? You're gonna be teaching in the same campus.
Wow, see you soon, ma'am. See you soon.
Yes, sir, Mike.
Yeah, there's Jing. So Jing, introduce yourself and tell us, if you don't mind, to share your experiences. What shocked you? What surprised you? What, you know, whatever learning that you have.
Okay po. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, Ma'am Ellen. So this is my first time to join the Zoom meeting. I mean, before we arrived in the US, we used to have a Zoom meeting with Ma'am Ellen. So, but this is my first time to join the meeting here in US with all the applicants, Ms. Ellen. So good morning po. So I am Algenia Sumala. I am teaching social studies in Central High School. So I am teaching grade 10 to 12 students. So mga malalaking tao po yung aking mga students.
He does a good job though.
Yes po. So at first, really the struggle talaga is yung communication. You cannot say na I am good in speaking English, I can communicate, but in real life, pag nasa classroom na, it's really different. Kasi especially the students, they have this accent na it's really hard to understand. Diba po? It's really hard to understand kasi yung kanilang slang, kasi most of my students po, parang 95% of my students are Black. So yung kanilang accent is really different from the normal English that we usually encounter. So yun po yung pinaka number one struggle doon. And then especially yung another one is the student. The students are really different, especially in the Philippines. Kasi sabi ng uncle ko na from Fayetteville, the students here are rough. So literally rough talaga ang mga students kasi the discipline ibang-iba po talaga. Dahil nga siguro dahil iba yung kanilang culture at iba yung nakasanayan nating culture in the Philippines. So ibang-iba talaga. So yun yung pinaka-struggle ko for the first month. So alam naman po ni Ma'am Ellen yan. Meron pa ako na-encounter.
Yeah, they call me Ma'am Ellen. I told them that don't be too formal with Doc. Call me Ellen, which is my nickname. So Ma'am Ellen.
But Ma'am Ellen, I'm trying to call you Ma'am Ellen kasi minsan I sleep and sabi ko Dr. Ellen, Dr. Merlina.
Yeah, that's fine. It don't matter. But really, you're handling it very well. You know, did you cry the first week? I don't remember.
No, hindi naman po. Hindi naman po ako naiyak.
Some of you cried.
Pero I'll be honest. Second week ko, sabi ko sa sarili ko, during, di ba, Ma'am Ellen, the fifth period was my worst class. Sabi ko talaga sa sarili ko, tama ba ako ng desisyon na nagturo ako dito? Nagkaroon ako ng doubt sa sarili ko nung time na yon. Kasi,
which is normal.
Na-shock talaga ako sa attitude nila. Na feeling ko, yung pagiging teacher, parang nawawala yung pagiging essence ng pagiging teacher ko sa klase na yun. Nung time na yun, nung weeks na yun, during the first, second, third week, parang hindi ko ma-feel na teacher ako. So
Really?
yun talaga pinaka-struggle na parang hindi ko pwedeng i-deny kasi I think most of the teachers that are new teachers na experience po yun. And some of the teachers are crying pa. Na they want to go back. Yes po.
Yeah.
They want to go back. Yun nga. But yun yung pinaka-worst feeling na na-experience ko.
First
month.
First month.
I doubt myself. Sabi ko, did I made a right decision teaching in the US? Yun po yung pinaka-worst, Ma'am Ellen, na experience ko. Pero sabi ko nga, pag umuwi ako ng Pilipinas, wala akong pambayad ng utang.
Yeah, that was a motivation, wasn't it?
Yes, yun po yung motivation talaga. Kasi I was under the agency po. So, you are blessed po kung kayo ay hindi under agency. You are blessed to have Ma'am Ellen kasi wala kayong babayarang, unlike mine, medyo malaki po yung aming placement fee na binabayaran.
Because they were using a third party agency that charged them, you know what, $6,000? That you should not be doing.
$5,000. That's $500 a month.
Yeah.
$500, yes, a month po.
Yeah.
So, yun nga po, naging motivation sa akin yun. And then sabi ko nga, there's no turning back. Dito na ako.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm glad you stuck by it because I think you have really adjusted, right?
Yeah, yes po.
Yeah.
What's the rewarding part is, after nung struggle na yon, tinry ko na makuha yung loob ng mga students.
Get to know your students, knowledge of students.
Yes po. Kasi ngayon po, they are very sweet. They are very caring and loving. Kapag mag-absent ako nung last time nagpunta ako kasi ng ibang state, na-invite ako ng aking tita doon sa Illinois. 2 days po akong absent. Pagbalik ko ng Tuesday, pinapagalitan ako ng mga students ko. Sabi, why, Miss Sumala, why are you absent? You just live here with the substitute teacher, and we don't like the substitute teacher. Ganyan sila sa akin. So parang I feel bad nag-absent ako kasi nagagalit sila. So parang ay, namimiss pala ako ng mga bata.
Right, you felt needed, yeah. But they love you. Your kids love you. I've watched it, yeah.
So
you have really done, yeah, because you have, she has the knowledge of content really well. Is the knowledge of students. The building of relationship is what needed to happen. And you are very firm, and you are very consistent. And she always explains it really well. And she uses video to get them, really hooked with the topic, and, things like that, strategies that is, that is different. That way they won't have to be sitting there, right? You do grouping, you have them do group work.
Always.
Yeah. So I think those things really helped you. How about, do you have any other roommates there that want to talk?
Si Miss Camille po kasi Doc, may schedule na po silang lakad ngayon yata.
Oh yeah? Where are they going?
I think they're going to Mississippi po.
Oh, they are?
Together with Margaret po. So may plan po silang lakad.
Okay, so nobody else is up? Everybody's still asleep?
Si Jonah and Kate po nasa Little Rock.
Nag-spend the night sila doon?
They attend the seminar po.
Seminar, yeah.
Together with the JFL teachers. So they will arrive here this noon po.
Noon, okay. Because I saw some pictures of them posting. But anyway, but I really appreciate you joining us, Jing, because I want everybody else to hear, because your experience is very common. It doesn't matter how good you are in the Philippines, how long experience you have, you're gonna have that culture shock the first month anyway. And so if you cry, if you need to cry, okay. But do not try to go home. I mean, I just think that going home is kind of chicken way of doing it, right? Now, Jing is like having your husband. Is your husband already?
Yes, well, they will be arriving on November 15.
Yeah, see, they already got approved. Yeah, husband
po.
Husband and daughter, right?
No, the youngest son po.
The youngest son. Yeah, she has 3. So yeah, I'm excited for her that she's gonna be having her family here. And Leslie also got her husband.
Yes, ma'am.
Daughter approved. Yeah. So they're getting their families here now. So it's like kind of a test in the beginning of the year, but then later on you get rewarded. Like, you know, they have saved enough money in order to start to bring families here. So what is your plan on the other 2 kids?
Maybe Ma'am Ellen on July po, next year after ng school din nila.
Yeah. So then you'll have everybody here.
Yes po.
Hopefully. So you'll have to get another house by yourselves.
Right now, po available pa kay Mr. Simpson po.
Yeah, hopefully. You better start talking to her. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, have you been talking to her about possibly getting that?
Yes po. Actually, ma'am, nung inobserve po ako ni Mr. Simpson last October 19 kasi required po din sa ADE, yung Arkansas Department of Education, na online observation po namin. So, nakaschedule po ako ng 19. Sinabi ko sa kanya na after post-con kami, observation, the feedbacking. So, maganda po yung feedback niya sa akin. Then, I shared to him na my husband and my son will be arriving in November. So, he's very happy. And he's asking me for any assistance that I need. And then he's like asking me about the job that my husband can do. He's like offering a job na my husband can do, like construction, ganyan po.
That's good.
So, very supportive naman po si Mr. Simpson.
Yeah, and he owns the house. His wife owns the house. So you did tell him that you might be interested in the house, or?
Yes po. Yes, sinabi ko rin po. Pero yun nga, the problem is the under contract for 1 year in this house. Kaya that's the problem na I cannot leave and go move to other house.
Yeah, but I think you should be able to, if Mike and them come, I think they will be able to take your spot.
Yes,
right, Mike? I think Edison will be so happy to have another guy there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
This is the
Yes,
only
no.
guy.
He mentioned that to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you could just take her spot. That way, you know, she can move.
Yes,
because it doesn't matter who is there. They just need to divide it so many people.
Yes,
right? And that room there that Jing is leaving, I mean, it's like really big room. It's like the master's
bedroom.
It's got its own bathroom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be good.
Yeah, wait for us on December. Right?
Hopefully, right?
Looking forward, sir.
We'll be there on December.
Hopefully, if everything goes right, you know, but there's no problem with the application, that they should be here December. Yeah.
Yes,
they should be. Yeah. They should be able to spend Christmas with us. And then hopefully work some in December. I don't know, because I'm sure they want you to work as soon as you get here. You know.
Yes.
So anyway, so Jing, is there any other thing that you want to give them tip-wise to help them?
I just want to share po, last Thursday, I was surprised because Dr. McGee, Britain, Miss Andrew and Mr. Simpson went inside my classroom for observation. So I was not expecting them talaga. I was really surprised when they entered the class, especially the superintendent. So he's like, good thing that I'm teaching the AP, the advanced placement class. So very participative sila. So he's like taking pictures of me and the students during the class. Kasi he caught us doing the activity.
That's good.
I was in the front of the class together with the student. And the comment po is I was leading a student-led
Centered.
lesson
Yeah.
because the
Student-centered.
teacher, yes, well, the student is the one who is doing the lesson in front of the class, and then nandun ako
Perfect.
sa gilid nagpa-facilitate.
Yeah, very good.
So I was
did it.
surprised na yun po yung comment ni Dr. Magidaw. And then doon sa ADE ko po, chinek ko, kagabi ko lang nakita. Yung grades ko po doon, naka-highly proficient po halos yung 5 targets.
Nice. Very good. Congratulations. I'm proud of you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
ma'am.
that's reciprocal teaching, which is really good. I'm glad that you're using that.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ma'am Ellen, I wasn't expecting. I was like, sabi ko, oh my gosh, hindi ako prepared. Tapos bigla silang, kasi walang pasabi na papasok sila sa classroom.
Yeah.
So, sabi ko, parang nakot yata ako na hindi talaga ako prepared nung time. Pero we're doing the lesson talaga. For 4 days na ganun na yung setup namin. Na student po yung nagdi-discuss sa klase ng lesson. So I was happy na na-appreciate po nila yung strategy na yon na
Very good.
student-led lesson daw po yung ginawa ko, ganyan-ganyan. So yun po, I'm happy for the feedback po.
Yeah, very good. Congratulations. I'm proud of you, girl.
Thank you.
Mike and everybody, Mike and the other 3 Dina, Johnson and April, you are going to have to make your lesson plan. I think it's due every Thursday, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to have to make your lesson plan as if they're coming to your classroom, because as you know, Helena has been taken over by the state. So they have the state people all the time coming in. And so you would have as many as 4 or 5 people coming in. Sometimes I'm there too. So anyway, but we are there to support, not to intimidate you. Right? Did you feel that they're there to support you?
Yes, Ma'am Ellen. At saka talaga good thing, Ma'am Ellen, yung mga observations mo, yung mga feedbacks mo sa amin, na sabi mo, okay, once na nag-enter sa classroom mo sa ganito, ganyan, hindi pwedeng ganito, kailangan may plan B ka kaagad.
Yeah, yeah.
Pero during that time, Ma'am Ellen, I was thinking of plan B. Kasi I feel na, kasi hindi siya collaboration, kasi mostly na-observe nila ako, collaboration ang ginagawa ko. Remember po yung debate? Mr. Simpson entered in my classroom, suddenly then, I was having a debate with my class, and he suddenly taking videos of the class. Hindi ko alam, pinakita pala niya yung video kay Dr. McGee.
Yeah, I think they're looking at the teachers because you have cameras everywhere in your classrooms that they're watching in student involvement, and you tend to do a lot of student involvement, and that's why they're there in your classroom taking videos. So they're proud of you. I'm proud of you.
So, during the meeting, inannounce si Mr. Simpson na yun nga daw, collaboration, yung parang special mention na for collaboration daw yung ginagawa ko, ganyan-ganyan. So I'm happy for at least na-appreciate po yung mga ganong strategies na although little thing lang naman po, pero at least malaki din naman po yung impact sa kanila.
That's right. That's good. I'm so glad that you listened to some of my suggestions then.
Of course, Ma'am Ellen, malaking help po yun. Malaking help.
Good. I'm glad, because it's always, sometimes I would feel like, okay, am I even doing a difference? Am I even making a difference with them? Am I just wasting their time? Because I drive 4 hours, and then if I'm not doing any good, I felt like, well, I should just stay home. So
remember, Ma'am Ellen, tandaan ko sinabi mo plan B, always have plan B. Sabi mo sa akin ganyan. So talagang tinandaan ko siya.
Yeah, always, especially when you're using technology, you need to always have a plan B, because what if the technology doesn't work? So you need to do this instead. And then if you have that already in mind, then you won't have a discipline problem, because you are so quick at getting that transition, right? And I think, Jing, you excel in that. Your transition is very smooth. Like you just go from one activity to the next, and it's very seamless. And that's what you need to have, is a very seamless transition. So, yeah.
Actually po, mas kinakabahan po ako pag si Ma'am Ellen ang nag-o-observe.
You're crazy. You make me sound like I'm so intimidating. I'm not.
Kesa po, hindi that intimidating, Doc, pero mas iba yung kaba ko pag si Ma'am Ellen kesa kala Dr. McGee or kay Mr. Simpson nag-o-observe.
You're so funny why you feel that way. Because why? Why do you feel that way? Am I picky?
No, because I know kasi kung paano mo kasi yung, you being a retired teacher.
Yeah,
Yes, talagang nasa field ka. You
Yeah.
know all every detail, alam mo po 'yan, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Unlike kasi sila admin sila eh. They're not in the classroom setup.
Yeah. So ano,
So,
parang parang ang comment nila is generalization, parang big umbrella lang. Sa akin talaga every standard I have a comment.
nasa field ka po talaga, classroom talaga po ang iyong experience eh.
Yeah, I was a classroom for a few years. Yeah. And I like that part, by the way. And see, the thing is, they also know my comment because they always get a copy of it. And then the principal gets a copy of it. The superintendent gets a copy of it. So it's very transparent. Like there's not anything there that I wrote that they did not know anything about. And we talk about it at first, didn't we? So we debrief about it. And sometimes I have lunch with her. I just need to plan ahead sometime and say, hey, bring me some Filipino lunch because I usually have like American lunch. Yeah. But anyway, Jing, thank you so much for sharing with us, and feel free to join whenever we are going to talk about to someone. Maybe somebody has a question for you. You know, anybody that a question, I know. Jing, how did you, I mean, you went with a third party agency, so they're the one that placed you to Helena? Is that what happened?
Yes po, ma'am. The agency was the one who looked for the school and then set an interview with them. And then they are the one who talked to the superintendent during that time. And
Okay.
then the job offer also was sent to them, to the agency, and then they sent it to us.
Yeah. So with us now is direct. You don't have to ever involve anybody else. We just do directly. And that saves you the $6,000.
Yes po.
That, yeah.
That's
$5,000.
why we are
whatever.
very blessed to have you, Ma'am Ellen.
Well, you thank
Sabi
you.
nga namin kung nakilala lang namin si Ma'am Ellen ng mas maaga, nakasave kami ng $500 a month.
Yeah, but it's only for the first year. I think you don't have to pay it the next year, right?
Yes po, pero
Yeah.
malaking bagay po.
Yeah. And after that, I'm gonna help you all, the 15 of you, to do your H1B, because 11 more because the last 4 are doing H1B, but you know, I want to help you do H1B. Yeah. So we're gonna do the first batch first.
Yeah.
And
Doc.
then you all the next year. So yeah.
Doc,
Yes.
I think Ma'am Marilo Chavez, JMR, and the one who is still connecting, Pilin. I'm not sure if they came from the group of the students who are taking the Masters Arts in SPED in National University. I'm not sure because I'm inviting them to attend our Zoom meeting. Maybe they belongs there also.
Yeah, well, why don't you introduce them to us, Mike, so that they could tell us
Ma'am
about them.
Marilo Chavez.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am Marilo Chavez, hello po. Good evening po.
Good evening po.
Yes, ma'am.
There she is.
Yeah, nakuha po kayo sa NU group.
Yeah, dati po ako na then nag-stop ako sa dami ng trabaho sa public. I'm a public elementary school.
Okay,
Regular.
so you're
Pero
still
I'm planning to transfer in SPED.
Okay. So tell us about you. Tell us something about you. You're gonna do like 2 to 3 minutes introduction about yourself, if you don't mind.
I'm still working for what can I say? Ako. Pwede mag-Tagalog.
Oh no, you have to speak English. I want you to practice your English.
Okay. So I'm still working out sa school na yung mga disability.
Okay,
you're
working in a public school. Public school,
yeah.
Okay.
There's some children that are having enrolled in our school in a public. There are some learning disability.
Okay.
So I learned to cope up yung mga learning disability. So that's why I enrolled in SPED.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
so you can just say you're teaching special needs children.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Okay.
can just say that. And then you can include how many years of experience you have.
25.
And you have to tell what degree you finished. Yeah.
Degree.
Mhm.
Actually, I'm finished my masteral in LCBA in
Okay.
Laguna. MAED, administration, supervision.
Okay.
And then some of my friends told me to enroll again in master degree in SPED.
So this is your third
So,
master's?
a second.
Second. Okay.
So
So you can just say
I'm so
that. You say,
interested.
I completed my master's degree in
Complete
administration and I'm currently working on my master's degree in special
in
ed.
SPED.
They don't say masteral here, you just say master's.
Master.
Yeah,
Sorry.
master degree in. And
Thank
then,
you for
yeah, and then tell us why you want to come to the US or why did you get into education, something like that.
I just want, I don't know. I just want to experience to work in the US if I have kung meron lang akong pagkakataon lang po.
You get a chance. Well,
Chance.
yeah, you need to, do you have a piece of paper? And
Not
Mike,
yet.
can you type this in the chat? www.schoolspring.com. www.schoolspring.com. If you, right now, there should be a lot of openings there. So you can apply directly. And if you send me your resume and cover letter, I will also send your names to administrators, in Arkansas and beyond. But if you do a direct one on School Spring, that's a really good one to do as well.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, schoolspring.com and get your resume and cover letter, application letter ready. So,
Thank you.
okay. Well, thank you for joining us. And Mike, thank you for inviting her to join us, Marilu. Who else did you invite, Mike?
Naidi Perolino, Ma'am Perolino.
Yeah, is she here right now? Let me see. Yeah, there she is.
Ma'am
Naidi, do you want to come? Do you want to
Naidi.
tell us about yourself? Do you have her? I think you're muted.
Yes. How about PC 78? Yes. Is yeah, Ma'am Naidi.
Okay,
Hello
Ma'am
po.
Naidi, you wanna talk to us?
Just a moment.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead. Do you have a camera on? Do you want to turn your camera on? Or you just want your voice?
Yes,
Okay,
it's just a voice.
that's fine.
Okay, thank you. I am Naidi Fermina Dobas. I am teaching here in the Philippines for 3 years, handling a student with multiple disability, and also I handle students with visually impaired. So I know how to transcribe, braille, and translate also.
Very good.
Read and write in braille. I also have a training about braille from the Unified English Braille.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, and why do you want to come to the US? Naidi.
Of course, I know that US have an opportunity for us, especially for teachers who teaches students with special needs. So of course, the difference between the hour salary was so big, and I know that. But then I also want to learn more approaches about how to handle special children in the US, and after maybe 5 years or 10 years, I will that's my dream, that I will come back in the Philippines and I will teach whatever that I learned in the US.
Okay. For J1 visa, you will be, I think you can go up to 5 years. And then after that, you can switch it to J1B, and J1B has a limit of 6 years. But after you have 6 years in J1, in H1B, you will get your green card. So that's what it amounts to here. But if you, I think there is a, supposedly a, the physical presence requirement after 3 years, but then they are waiving that right now because of the shortage of teachers. So you pay, like, there's a waiver that you have to do, and you pay 160 or something, and then you can continue and do up to 5 years in J1 visa. That's what it is right now. Okay, so thank you again for joining us. I don't know what Mike
Yes,
told you
yes.
about me, but those who are new, I am a retired teacher and administrator here in Arkansas. I was a classroom teacher teaching all the grades except 10th and 12th grade, but I was also a literacy specialist. I work for the state, Arkansas Department of Education, and that's where I retired from. But currently I am a professor at Arkansas State University, and that's where I finished all my degrees, from a bachelor, master, specialist, and doctorate. And so my passion right now, after getting out of the classroom, is to help teachers, especially Filipino teachers, to support them, to support y'all in transitioning here in the US, because otherwise you'll just be feeling like somebody just throw you out there in the field and there's no support. So I felt like, that's my support. This is like my family. Ask Jing. We're like family now, huh, Jing? She'd come to my house a few times, and yeah. So
Very
they will
welcoming.
hopefully, huh?
Very welcoming.
Yeah. So they will come Thanksgiving, Christmas here. So yeah, they are learning how to drive. By the way, Abby, I don't know if Abby's joining us, but Abby
Abby passed the
passed her
driving.
driver's test. I know. I told her, I said, Abby, I'm gonna have to bring you to the house and let you drive the 4 hours. That way it's a good practice for you. Yeah. So I'm so proud of her. One time, and she passed it. A bunch of the kids here, the native kids here that speak the native tongue, they usually take it 2, 3, 4 times. So for her to pass it the first time, I'm like Maria, very proud of them. So Jing, are you planning to take your test too?
On Monday together with Mr. Edison.
Are you serious? Monday? Good luck. Yeah. I hope
Okay.
you, is that after school? You're gonna do it after school? You're gonna miss
4
school?
p.m.
After?
After.
Well, you have to let me know. That's what Abby's so funny. She just took a picture of her permit and she sent it to me, and I look and like, what is this? And then I have to call her like, congratulations, I'm so proud of you. So yeah, that's what happened. So that's exciting. And then Leslie's husband will be coming too, right? Soon?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I think before the Thanksgiving.
Before, yeah. So just gonna see, yours will be the next one then coming.
Yes, po.
Yeah. Was there somebody else?
Crystal husband will be arriving on November. Will be arriving this November 8th, I think.
Oh, okay. So there's like 3 of you guys that are having husbands coming in this month. Well, that's that. You're getting bigger and bigger now in houses.
Ginatay
Yeah.
ka siya do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So who else is here?
Sir Vincent.
Huh?
Sir Vincent Beniga.
Yeah. Can you talk to us? I don't think.
Sir Vincent, good evening, Sir Vincent.
Yeah, Sir Vincent, can you talk to us? Vincent, you are muted. There
Good
he
evening,
is.
madam.
Good evening. Hey, talk to us. Do you want to turn on your camera or you just want your voice?
Madama kayo.
Is it pretty dark? Oh, there he is. There you are. Yeah. Yeah. If you don't like your background,
just
you
an
might want to do
invited
like a
follower.
virtual, look for your virtual and blur it if you want. But anyway, so yeah, hey, Vincent, if you ever get an interview, make sure that you dress up like you're going to church, okay? Okay, I mean, you're fine the way you are right now because you're just visiting, but yeah, when you have to make sure that you are not doing sleeveless and you are gonna be, you're gonna be wearing like you're going to interview, like actual interview, okay? But this is,
Okay,
thank you for joining us. Yeah, no problem. Tell us about you.
I am currently working as a public school teacher in Division of Talisay City, and then I've been 13 years of being a technology teacher as a computer and electronics teacher. But my license is in mathematics, madam. That is why I still have questions in my mind, because if I be going to in the US, I'll be prefer with working with the teaching in the computer or IT in IT.
But you
But
need to have your degree to match that, because your degree has to match your experience. So if your experience is in
I
math-
graduated
as what? We got cut off. Did
Yeah,
we
I
get
think
cut off, Vincent? Did Vincent
got
get cut
my
off? Yeah.
license for being a mathematics teacher because my subjects was more on mathematics, madam.
Okay. But whenever you get hired in the US, though, it needs to match your experience. So, for example, since you are going to, if you want to be a computer teacher, you need to make sure you have that degree or master's or something, you know, kind of go on to that. Because if your degree is in math, you cannot be applying for something else because you don't have the degree to it's very strict here. Your degree has to match your experience. And so, so yeah, and I see a lot that in the Philippines, even though you're high school and you're teaching elementary and vice versa, that's not going to happen here
Doc.
because they're very strict to match it. Is that
Doc.
right, Mike?
Yeah, yeah. He's not here anymore. Maybe
He's not-
he has yeah, a signal problem or connection
Signal problem.
problem. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
well-
Can hear you then.
Okay. Well, for everybody that
Doc, nandito po si, excuse me po, si Camille.
Oh,
Will
there's
you-
Camille. Camille, talk to us. Hi, Camille. Tell us a little bit something about your experience there in the US.
Doc,
Teaching.
Doc, nagmamadali, aalis daw.
Oh, you're hurrying.
yes.
Okay. Bye. Bye. Have fun.
Hello,
Have
Mississippi
fun.
ka na?
She's in a hurry. Well, yeah. So they're going to Mississippi. Okay. So where in Mississippi are they going?
May bibilin daw po yata sila doon. South Haven ba?
Horn Lake.
Horn Lake daw po. Horn Lake, Mississippi.
Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah. That's close to you guys. So anyway, so did we lose Vincent? So anyway,
No.
my comment on that is that whenever you have a thing like that where it doesn't match your degree, you need to make sure that you apply in something that you have experience and a degree on. So if it is like Vincent's, where he really wants to teach computer, but his degree is in math, I don't know if that is going to be an issue or not, but I feel like it
Madam,
will be an issue.
I have experience before in math, but in college that I took the advanced in mathematics when I was working in the STI, but almost 2 years lang yun, madam.
Okay,
And
then you
much more on my experience was is there a possibility, madam, that I'll be after teaching, I'll be working as one of the in the US?
Well, you can, but you need to make sure your licensure is straightened out. You need to have, the requirement is you have to have at least 3 years of experience. And then you have to have the degree to match your experience, and you have to have a license, and you need to be teaching now. And so, so those are the things that if you meet those, then you will be be hired, be interviewed. Because if you don't have that, then they're not going to even consider you for interview. They're just going to go through your resume and say, oh, this person does not have the credential that we need in order for them to be licensed here. Because what happens is, like, for example, like Dr. Pineda Edison, he has his doctorate in science, and he was at first given like more math than science, and we had to actually flip that and give him more science, because he had to have at least, I think, teach at least three of those courses in order for him to take the praxis test, in order for him to get the licensure for that area. And so they won't even have you take the praxis unless you have the degree and the experience to match. So that's the tricky part there, Vincent, is that if your degree is in math, try to get your experience in math. Okay. So it could be a combination of math and your maybe in your science, in your technology. But if I am an administrator, I would not consider you for the technology. I would consider you for the math. Then later on,
Okay.
once you get in, yeah, once you get in, then you can always tell them, hey, I prefer this technology. If you could, they give you like 2 years a waiver. They call them 2-year waiver, where they give you that time to get an extra licensure. So that gave you that 2-year kind of time to do it. But in order to get in here, you're gonna have to start with your degree and matching experience. That's the one that opens door for you.
About in mathematics, madam, my principal can provide me a certificate for that, because I was hired as a mathematics teacher when I applied in the public school. And as a matter of fact, I was in the category A, rank 2 in my application for the DepEd. So my entry before was mathematics, and here comes that senior high school come in. So I applied in the senior high school, and then I'm promoted as a senior high school teacher too. So, and then there was a chance that I can teach in the computer hardware. That is why, as my experience, I am now in the TVL track, technical vocational livelihood track, madam.
Okay, well, I think that's how you can solve this. Have somebody like a former supervisor to kind of verify your experience, and I think that would handle that, because they're gonna want number of years of teaching experience kind of letter anyway. So if your principal would say that what are the different experiences you have in that school, maybe that would be doable. The 3 years of experience is a must. It cannot be. It's not something that you can waive. You have to at least 3 years of experience, teaching experience. So yeah. So anyway, well, yeah, go to schoolspring.com and see what if you can apply somewhere. SPED for 3 years, Marilu is asking. Okay, Mike, thank you for sharing my email to them. Anyway, so any more questions from you, Vincent? No more?
Thanks for that, madam. I made a clarification for my status.
Yeah, just get somebody to write that you have at least 3 years of experience. Okay, yeah, and that would match. Hi, Giselle, thank you for coming in again. She's becoming a regular here. Yeah, thank you again, Vincent. Giselle, what's up with you? Are you having a good week?
Yes, doc.
Your baby's doing okay?
Yeah, they're doing okay, doc, and they're getting normal every day. So I guess I'm ready now to apply for a job there.
She got back from having a baby, so she's trying to get back to normal. Are you excited about Leslie's husband? Getting approved and your niece?
Yes, doc. Yes, doc. I'm very excited. Kaya daghan na sila there, doc.
I know there's a lot of your families here now. So,
yeah.
so
we had
this
morning we had a video call with Abby. And yeah.
She was excited about her driver's
crying
license
because she had also a video call with her baby. And she's crying. So she misses her baby so much. So.
How many does she have? 4 or 5? How many babies does she have? 4?
Yeah, 4, doc.
4 babies. Leaving 4 babies. I keep on telling her that you need to bring the youngest ones here. At least, maybe the youngest and the oldest or something. That way the oldest can help you watch the baby. And then the middle ones can come later, because that's the hardest thing, especially your baby. Well, what was the age of the baby when Abby left?
I think that was 4 months. Yeah, 4 months, doc.
That's rough. I was really thinking that when she told me that she was gonna come, and I said she was, I think at that time she was about to have a baby, and I said, are you sure you want to come this year because you're having a baby? And so she did. I was very surprised about that, but she's tougher than me for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, so thank you again, Giselle. Do you have any questions or anything, comment this week?
I would like to clarify about the the subject, because I am an elementary graduate, but we have during our time, Doc, we had a subject major. We call it concentration, really, but
Mhm.
it's me. I'm majoring math. So
Okay.
does it affect in elementary?
No, if you have elementary, you can teach anything. Yeah, it's
Okay.
usually on the elementary. You just do the level. Like are you certified? It used to be K6, or then it became K4, 4, 8, 9, 12. That's kind of how it is sometimes, but it depends because they keep changing them. But if you have the elementary, you can teach any subjects in elementary. So you don't have to have a concentration really necessarily for elementary, because some elementary schools are actually having they call them self-contained. It's not self-contained special ed, but self-contained regular classroom where you're actually teaching all the subjects. I did that for a few years, and I really enjoy that, teaching all the subjects, because you can do units, you can do all kinds of integration across the curriculum. So that's I like that part. But yeah, good question there, Giselle. You don't have to worry about it if it's elementary. But high school, you have to have an area of concentration. Like, for example, Jing is social studies. Okay?
Thank you, Doc.
Yeah, you're welcome. Rose Ann, how's Rose Ann doing today? Did you want to talk? She just want to listen, maybe?
Hi, Doc. Sorry.
Hey, how are you, Rose Ann? You want to turn on your camera today? Oh, there she is. Yeah.
Dark here.
Yeah, it's fine. So what is that behind you? Are you outside? You're inside your
It's a
house?
wall, Doc.
Ah,
It's a
okay.
wall.
Oh, okay. Yeah, blank wall. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so what's up with you this week? Did you do any strategies you want to share? Any successes?
Yeah, well, actually, Doc, I just want to share about the latest interview that I have.
Okay.
It's just that the I have two interviews, but before I told you about the Colorado, the Omar Blair, I mentioned that. But then the response is they want me to be there as soon as possible. But then I said to them that no, ma'am, I cannot go right away. It is because there is no visa yet that is available. So that is why they said that maybe in the future they can give me an offer, maybe next school year, but I don't know yet, Doc, because according to them, if they can find other teachers who are available right away, they're going to entertain them.
Yeah, but you need to not say what you did, that you said that you're not available, because everybody should be available immediately. It's not under your control, it's the immigration's control. But so as far as they're concerned, you should be available already. But what's stopping is the immigration, because you don't have the power to, just come. You are at the mercy of the embassy. So in future, for future answer for you, you need to say you are available now. You're available as soon as you get approved. Yeah, you need to say that as soon as
that.
Huh?
Yes, Doc. Yeah, I told them that I am really available as soon as possible. It's just that the sponsor, the visa is not available. That is my reason. So I told them that if you can wait for me, maybe by next school year, I will try my best to be there as soon as possible. Likewise, Doc, with my interview with California. Yeah, I was also had a chance having an interview with the principal, and she said that they really need a teacher ASAP, because even she is the principal, she's also teaching because of lack of teachers.
Yeah,
that is why
shortage for sure. Yeah.
There's a shortage of teachers, Doc. That is why I also told her, like, Mom, yeah, I am really very interested and very willing and available as soon as possible. It's just that the opening of this sponsor will be still on January. So yeah, that is still my reason, Doc.
I think there's some in October already. Have you checked? Because October 1 is supposed to be more. Did they say January? Huh?
None. I actually checked, but no one replied to my my queries about the visa.
They won't even entertain you though if you don't say you have a job offer, because they get that letter all the time. So in order for you to be entertained by them, you need to tell them that I have a job offer already. then they will respond to you, because right now you just be like those thousands, dozens of people that are lining up in behind, on the gate of the embassy. Could be anybody that can just contact them. But for you to stick out like, oh, this is a serious thing, is that you can say, I do have a job offer. I just need your help to get there. So you need to, in order for them to give you attention, that's what you need to have. Okay. And also, if you ever get an interview though, make sure that you use the virtual background and just do a blur where you do blur, because it's much, to me, it's not it's not distractive, that your background. So you may want to do like Jing. Look at Jing. Look at how Jing did that. Jing, can you talk so we could see your background, Jing?
Yes po.
There you go. See, you see her background is like you cannot see in the back, because then you can focus on her. So everybody, this is not just for Miss Amparo, it's also for everybody, because it's so it will distract people, to be looking like me. I was like, what is that in her background? Yeah. So also it's more professional looking, to have a blur. I think that's one of my favorite background, is just to do blur. You know how to do that? Is under the video, and then there's an arrow, and you go choose a virtual background, and one of the virtual background is blur, and that would be something that you want to use, just a suggestion. Yeah. Did you do that?
Sorry, Doc. Yes, Doc. I am not actually here in our house. I am at the house of my grandmother. Why I did not prepare. I was not able to prepare, the background.
Problem. Yeah, you don't have to prepare anything if you do the blur. If you do the blur, you don't have to prepare anything, because it just blur everything. Okay. Yeah. If you don't have time to prepare, that's the best thing that you can choose, is the blur. Okay. Just a suggestion.
Yes. Yes, Doc.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. So who else do we have here left?
Ma'am Ellen, I have my friend here, Mr. Joel Santiago.
Yeah, Joel Santiago.
Where is Joel? Yeah, introduce Joel to us. Hi, Joel, come on. Yeah, thank you, Jing, for inviting him. Joel, tell us about yourself.
Hello, good evening. Good evening here in the Philippines. I know I know that everybody is happy to see everyone here. My name is Sir Joel Santiago, and a teacher from public school. Same with Ma'am Algenia before. When I was when she was in public, we get use of, and I am a teacher of social studies, teaching senior high school, and of course, I'd like to join this group, because Ma'am Jing also told me that there's a better future for joining in this group. Not only for better future, because I really want to explore something new or what. And I'm sorry, I just got home today, and climbing up the hills is too hard for me. It's really tiring, So sorry po.
No problem.
You see, nag-OT po kasi sila. So I was like, sir, can you please join the Zoom meeting? So he's like, he's on his way home. So he was like rushing to get home to join the
Zoom. No problem. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Thank you. You might want to write down a 2 to 3 minute introduction about yourself, because if you ever get an interview, that's the first thing they're gonna ask. Tell us about yourself. And
yes,
I'm
so sorry, because I am not yet prepared for this, because Ma'am Zing told me that you have to join this Zoom meeting, and I was surprised that wow, now na agad. So maybe next time I'll just prepare myself, writing about something that I'm too nervous today,
No, no problem at all. No pressure, okay? No pressure.
Yes.
This is just a pretty informal visiting with each other. And the goal is for you to know what's different maybe from between the Philippines and the American, education. I think, like Jing said, they are very different. The students are very different because they are, I think they're more direct. Don't you think, Jing? They're
Yes,
very
ma'am.
direct. Like they will actually tell you, I don't like this. They will actually tell, why are we learning this? You know,
Yes,
like you can never remember Filipino kids to be asking those things, you know,
Actually,
but that's just the
before,
way
ma'am.
that they are raised. You
Yes,
know,
ma'am.
they're very mature, and they will just ask you, even elementary kids would ask you, why do we learn this? Why, how can we use this in real life?
Yes,
You know, so
ma'am.
you better be ready whenever. So I think in your objectives, when you all start opening the class, one of the things that you always say, you know, this is what we're learning today, and you need to know this because, you know, and I always tell them that, you know, you're going to learn this because, you know, someday you're going to be working as whatever it is job that you're going to say, and then you'll be using this knowledge because your boss is going to want you to work with teams, or you're working with groups, you know, anything like that. You need to tell them why is it important that we're using this strategy? Why is it important that we're using this new topic? Why do we need to learn this topic? For example, in math, a lot they will say, why do we have to learn, you know, geometry? Well, you know, then you tell them examples. If you, how are you going to use geometry in real life? You know, things like that. So anyhow,
I just
yeah.
want to add something po. The big difference that I noticed from the start of the class for the first 4 weeks of the class, before they asking me about why are we learning this and those questions, but now they are asking me, what are we going to learn today?
Well, that's good.
So
They know
so
that.
I guess that's a big difference from that.
Yeah.
Because they were like resistant before, and now they are very like excited about the lesson that we're going to do for that day. And I have this student who is in my 5th class, but he went to my class at 2nd period and asking me, Miss Sumala, what are we going to learn today?
Mhm.
And he was like, he's going to take my 5th class, and he was asking me at the 2nd class. So
Oh.
I think so he's excited.
He's
for
looking
our-
forward to your class, which is a good
forward.
sign. Yeah, good job. Yeah. That's always a good sign when kids are like, oh yeah, I can't wait for my favorite teacher, you know, for my favorite class. So that's always a good sign.
And ma'am,
Yeah.
I would like
Ledo.
to share din po. I have these students, many students, they were like asking me, I wish, they were like saying these things to me na, I wish that all my teachers are Filipino.
So how do you handle that? How do you handle that, Jane?
I was surprised about that, ma'am, kasi because we were just like 3 months pa lang sa school. So we are not taking it na may big impact na kami sa kanila.
Yeah, obviously you have, but at the same time, you also do not want them to feel like
Yes,
they're
ma'am.
bad mouthing the other teachers.
Yes, ma'am.
So how did you handle it?
I was shocked about that, ma'am. So I just asked him about that. The reason of that kid is that they feel disrespected by the teachers.
But did he say that to you?
Yes, ma'am. He shared that, and then when he started to share those things, his classmates also shared those sentiments.
Well, I would always I would never allow students to badmouth teachers. I would
Yes,
never allow them. So I would always say, maybe there's a misunderstanding.
Yes, ma'am. That's why
Yeah.
I told them na maybe you did something wrong that makes the teacher mad at you, or maybe you did not do your work that makes them. I also told them that if I were in the same position and I'm going to give you a work and then you're not going to do it, I will get mad at you also.
Yep, good
So
job.
it's
Good job,
reverse
because don't
situation.
ever, if they ever badmouth another teacher, I would never allow them to do that,
Yes,
because
ma'am.
that is so rude. And then, that's just
And
not
we are in the same school po.
Yeah, yeah. And even if it's another school, just because of our profession, we need
Yes,
to
ma'am.
be respectful of each other, and on, because you don't want the students to ever think that it's okay, because to me, when somebody does that to me, I'm like, why did the student think that they can just do that and it's acceptable to me? What did I do to make them think that that is all right in my classroom to do that? Just like an adult telling me something about another person, and I'm like, why did this person think that I will just accept that they're bad mouthing about somebody that could not defend themselves because they're not here?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
so I would, so that, I guess that's how I handle it, and you handle it very well.
Yes,
So yeah,
yes.
so that's what we need to do. We should be each other's cheerleaders as teachers, right? And I know in every school there's always those 10% teachers that will not be the favorite of the students.
Mhm.
You know, that there might be some teachers that are already short timing it. They call that they're putting their purse by the door already. That means they're ready to go. They're ready to retire. And then they're just not being happy. They're not being happy anymore. And what I suggest to those teachers when I was an administrator is that, you know, you might want to think about looking for another job or another passion that you have, because this is not working. You know, you're sending a lot of students here in my office to be disciplined, and it's usually because it's the same reason. It sounds like you just don't like them anymore. I would do that, but they say, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah, that seems to be a sentiment of your students, and I don't get it, you know. So let's talk about this. You know, and that's what I did. I was very frank when I was the administrator, and I have to tell these teachers that, you know, you have a lot of times these teachers, you'll have 90% of your discipline came from their 10% of these teachers that are not any more effective because they either do not like their profession anymore, or they're just really doing it for the wrong reasons, like money, for example. I mean, they're not doing it. The right reason is because of kids, because you want to influence kids, you want to impact kids. That's the right reason, that your heart is in the right place. And I think Jing's heart, you're in the right place. You know, the teachers that are here, you've got your heart in the right place. You know, you want to learn for yourself so you can impact student learning, right? And so that's one thing. Whenever, I think, you know, how beginning of the year, we always talk about encouraging teachers on how to act the rest of the year or whatever. We always said, as administrators, we always said that you should be each other's cheerleaders. You should be each other's, the biggest fan of the school or the students in our school. Like, you should not be talking about kids in the lounge, you know, because the lounge anymore sometimes becomes a place where teachers are actually bad-mouthing students. They're actually talking about students. And by the way, that is a big no-no, FERPA. That's FERPA rule, your privacy rule, that you are not going to talk about students. If you're going to talk about certain situation, do not name the students. You know, I have a student that did this, and what do you think? You know, for example, if you need an opinion, but do not say, you know what, you know, Giselle did this in my classroom, or whatever. You don't ever say that, because that is a privacy issue. Or if two kids are having a conflict, and another mother would say, hey, what did you do to the other kid? You know, you punish my kid this way. What did you do with the other kid? You do not tell them what you did with the other kid, because that is a privacy issue. You say, I'm dealing with it. You know, I'm dealing with it. You know, something's happening, but I'm not going to be able to tell you that because of privacy reasons. But yeah, so be careful about those. And also, especially the health, anything health related of students, big no-no, HIPAA rules, where you do not tell them about, you know, somebody's illnesses or anything like that. Big no-no. Yeah, I have not just in school, but also even like in health field. My sister is a nurse here, and she had to fire one of her helpers because she was just talking to this lady that was one of the patients, and she saw her downstairs in the pharmacy, and she was telling, you know, oh, you know, you came to the office, whatever, you know, just kind of acknowledging that patient was going to their office, and that is a big no-no. You don't do that, you know. So anyway, so schools too.
Yeah.
Okay, some things that you need to remember. Okay, Sinando, you have a comment?
Yeah, Doc. I just want to ask if how this 10-minute warm-up activity, because I read my email and it says here that you should only do the 10-minute warm-up activity in the sample teach. So how will I do this, Doc?
A warm-up activity could either be, and help me everybody, okay? A warm-up activity could be something that you either do a video clip, you know, a YouTube video clip, or teaching channel clip, something, or what other ways do you have something? What is your subject area?
Science, Doc.
Science, okay. And
Yeah.
what is your topic that you're thinking about teaching?
I will be discussing the evidence of chemical reaction, and then and then I will be introducing them a sort of a gallery, a moving experiment in the class, wherein there are 5 stations, and each station, they will explore in each station one evidence of a chemical reaction.
Okay.
So this is how I will teach my topic. So it's more on hands-on activities, but it also involves mobility of the students inside the classroom. So I am thinking of how the warm-up activity here is I will introduce how I will start my lesson, and how I will introduce the activity in such a way that the objectives of the lesson will be hit based on the activities that I will be conducting.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking it's only 10 minutes, and then you cannot teach for 10 minutes. So it's something that
You
it's
can do a
only the rationality
demonstration.
of
Do a demonstration, like for example, in front of them, if you have this bowl and you're burning, inside a bowl
Okay.
safely, and okay, is this a chemical or not? When you crumple a piece of paper, is that a chemical reaction? Is there a chemical reaction or not? There's something as simple as that, where you're actually doing something, in front of them, and just let them think, okay, why is that a chemical reaction? I was a science teacher before. So other science teachers here, what do you think? What other ways that he could present this to open up in order to get them excited about the lesson? Because a demo is always good. A demonstration, that's something quick, is always good. A model, if you bring them something of a model, is always good. What other ways? What other ways? Anybody that could help me?
In my end, Doc, I have this draft of mine so that I could really invite the school principal that this is how I'm gonna have the warm-up activities. Of course, I have preliminaries, checking the attendance, right, and then setting classroom expectations. And after that, we will have first the game. I have the cabbage game, and this cabbage game is, if you're familiar with the cabbage game is look like this. I have this crumpled paper here, similar to cabbage, and then I will play for a music, and then this cabbage will be passed by the students, and whenever the music will stop, whoever hold this cabbage, so they will peel. Student will peel, and then after peeling it, there's a question here, and then this question will measure the prior knowledge of the students of the topic. And then once the student read this the question, the student will answer the question, and if he or she didn't know the answer of the question, I'll give him or her the authority to point out someone to ask for a help or a friend. And then after this activity, this is a review of the prior knowledge. I will have another activity for the puzzle paper. So this is example the puzzle paper wherein here is the pack. I will cut this paper, and then the students will work on how to find the hidden word. Then after, and the hidden word for this is the main topic of my lesson.
Okay.
Then after this, they have this I can statement. Then I can statement is a statement wherein what should be expected for them at the end of the lesson. And after that, the I can statement would be the experiment, the stationary experiment that I mentioned earlier.
Okay. Just
so
make sure that when you do your activity, Desenando, you cannot just go this activity without debriefing. You have to debrief. So debrief means you have to clarify with the students, what did you learn from this activity? This is before you move on to the next one. Okay. So don't forget the debriefing. Okay, the debriefing part.
Okay.
Yes, but I think your plan is good. I just think that if you do the cabbage thing and then you do something else with same paper, you may want to change up, because that's already the same kind of, I guess, learning style. So you might want to do like a video with it or something with a different sense, that we're using the sense of touch, and then you need to be seeing the sense of the visual part or something. Mix it up. Do not just do the same thing where they are doing kinesthetic. They're doing kinesthetic for both activities. So you need to mix it up. Think about other learners that you have in your classroom. So your visual, kinesthetic, auditory. So there's something that where they are listening to, So think of the back, visual and auditory and kinesthetic. But I think that plan is good. Just need to make sure you explain how do you know that the students got it. So in my debriefing, I will be able to see if the student understood my introduction, because because when we debrief, you always do that. You need to debrief and you tell them what, when you're explaining that this is what I want to know. I want to make sure in my debriefing, I want to make sure that the students are able to tell me things that will match my ICANN statements that I want, that I'm telling them that we're going to learn, something like that. Okay. Or you can say, I know that my introduction will be successful because the students are able to tell me whatever, okay. So yeah. And then when you do your station, you describe the station and then tell them how they're going to move to the station. Are you going to ring a bell? Are you going to be having a digital timer where they could see that will make a sound? Make sure you say that. And then and then tell them how many minutes you're going to be doing that, and then how are you going to debrief it. Always debrief it, okay? So you have the students to share, and then you're debriefing it as a class, okay? And so that way, so you're thinking about your 5 core proposition there, right? You're going to be showing what you need, what you need to say about your student. Like, I know my students, I know that, or I know that there are different learners in my classroom, so that I want to make sure that I introduce the lesson with the different activities that match the visual, auditory, and kinesthetic learners. They're your knowledge of students, okay? And then your knowledge of content will be your strategies that you're doing, which is, awesome. And then of course your assessment, that's when you debrief it and say, I know they learned this because remember, you're supposed to assess before, during, and after. So you're able to see that. And then of course you're reflecting. Did it do well? What do I need to do? So you have to show them your reflection that, after the lesson, I will reflect what went right, what went, not as it's expected, and how I can fix it, or how that will guide me to know the next time I have this class that this is what I need to do. Do I need to reteach? Do I continue? Or do other students I need to pull out because I need to differentiate because they did not get it? So you're constantly like assessing. Okay. And then you say, well, maybe I need to collaborate, so you need to show your collaboration, or, I might need to bring a speaker or something to, I might, in order to come in and speak more about the topic. And that's your collaboration part right there at the end. So once you have those 5 core propositions as your guide, you just be able to like kind of go explain it, right? You feel okay with that? You think?
Yeah.
So just make those 4 propositions as your checklist. Okay. Yeah. So for those new ones, then Sinando, I want you to tell them about the 5 core propositions.
The 5 core propositions. Number 1 is the knowledge of the content. Second, the knowledge of the student. Third is collaboration,
assessment,
collaboration, and reflection.
That's right.
And
That's right.
For the newcomers, Dr. Merlina was able to introduce it to me before this group created. And then I remember how she coached me before my interview in Nebraska. And after she coached me, that is really a learning experience to me that makes me more confident on how I go with the interview. And that 5 core propositions will tuhog you if
guide you.
I don't know how to say it in Tagalog, And then before thinking while you are brainstorming on what would be your answer to the direct answer of the question of the school principal, you can have mentions those 5 core propositions, and that will make your answer really connects to the question of the school principal.
Yep.
And that 5 core propositions makes you more confident, and it helps me more.
Yeah, it's like having 5 keys in your hand, right? Key number 1, key number 2, all the 5. Yeah.
And I remember that when the school principal questioned me about how do you handle misbehavior the principal mentioned about me that our students here are of different races, and they have different cultural backgrounds, so you'd expect them to behave in class. And then so how do you handle misbehavior inside the class? So when I get a question, I remember Dr. Merlina mentioned about the knowledge of my students. Yeah, knowing their background, knowing the background will help me how to make them engage while they are misbehaving. No, so it's a matter of how you would explore and how will you immerse yourself to the interview questions, because most of the interview questions, I collected interview questions, most of the interview questions are somewhat similar. It's just a matter of how you respond to the question based on your classroom experience. And to mention with Dr. Merlina also, you have to be very specific with your answer, base it in your classroom experience. And when I mentioned about in my classroom, I have this student A, the school principal is, they're nodding, so meaning they feel that what you are saying is real. What you're saying is based on your classroom experience. And I'm really thankful about this, opportunity. I'm very thankful with Dr. Melina, because she is giving it free. I remember what you said, Doc, that when I shared to you that I passed the interview, and then you messaged me that I have to help other aspiring teachers also. Yeah, and then you mentioned also I give it free and you give it free. So
you pay it forward to somebody else. That's right. That's what I always say. They always say, well, how can we pay you? Well, pay it forward. Help somebody else, help the next person. So you've been doing that, right? You've been helping people?
Yeah,
Doc, you have done well, obviously, because you're getting all these interviews. And I think that's what the trick is you're gonna have to have those corporate positions in mind, because there's always a way to, to use that in a sentence and then plug in your experience. I like the way that you said student A, student B, because you should not use, especially last name, do not use last name. You can do first names, but student A, student B would be better, actually, because then you're not really revealing any names. Yeah. So yeah, I like that, because and anytime you ask a question, always do that. Always think about it. If it's not from your classroom, it might be your friend's classroom. It might be from a movie you saw, anything. You can relate it to something and then answer specific. I would just say specific is terrific, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so any other question? Hey, let's give a round of applause to Sinando, guys. Everybody, let's do that. And in your classroom, I always say this, that's improving the positive culture in your classroom by validating students. Like he shared really good stuff there. So you want to make sure you acknowledge that in your classroom. Okay, somebody's raising her hand there, Roseanne. What do you want to add? Roseanne, do you want to have something to add? You're muted right now.
Okay, Doc. I just want to, yes, Doc, I would just want to add about what Sir Budanya said about the preliminary activities. So I know that attendance is one of the, preliminary activities that we need to prepare as a teacher. So can we also, Doc, do something about checking of attendance instead of saying, because here I tried it in my classroom, instead of saying Doc present, I mentioned about saying Darna. It's trending here in the Philippines about ding ang bato, like that. So I find it very interesting, Doc, when during my attendance, I said to them that instead of saying present, they're going to say Darna, something like that. And then I find it very effective because I caught the attention of my students, Doc. So I don't know if it is also applicable there in the US.
No, because they frown on you wasting time on roll call. What you should do is that you have your sitting chart. So every period, if you have 5-6 periods, you have a sitting chart and you draw it out and you just mark off the students, and you giving them a do now or a bell ringer, 2-minute, 3-minute bell ringer. You need to be having them do that while you're doing the roll call or the lunch count or whatever, but never waste the time by calling each student. That is a waste of time. Yeah. Your principal would mark you bad. Yeah, it's frowned upon here. So I know in the Philippines it's very commonly done, but here in the US,
Yes.
like we don't want the teachers to do that. We want the teachers to very efficiently just look on the table and see which missing, boom, mark it, done. So
Yes,
yeah,
yes, Doc.
that's
That
it.
is why I asked about that, Doc. Maybe, Doc, no, one day we'll be there and we do that. And no, it's a wrong pala.
Yeah, no, it's wrong. It's considered a waste of time because the kids could be
Yeah.
doing something else while you are calling, and wasting 2-3 minutes. They could already be doing something that you assign them, really quick work that you want them to, sometimes it could be as simple as, okay, this so-and-so famous person said this quote, what do you think about this, and apply this to your life. It could be something as quick, as quick as that, if it relates to whatever your topic is. But instead of like calling them one by one, especially if you have 50 students, my gosh, that's at least 2-3 minutes you're gonna lose. Yeah, and you're doing it every day. So
Yeah. How about, Doc, games like I prepare, of course, games before my lesson, like who wants to be a millionaire? Of course, the questions are in relation to my new lesson, and sometimes spinning the wheel. Is it okay, Doc?
yeah, that's really good. Yeah, as long as your topic is relating to your, whatever game you're using, is the content of it is your topic. You cannot just like do a different topic that doesn't relate, because then that's kind of confusing to the kids and it doesn't really help. Okay, there's a lot of quizzes, Quizizz. That's one. And there's of course Kahoot.it, and then Quizlet.com would be good. Those things like that are good because they already have the topics. Like whatever topic that you can type it and somebody already had made it, and you can either use it as it is or you can modify it. So yeah, I love those when you're using a creative way. Like I've done it as like, okay, let's do a like at that time when I was teaching like an Oprah show, so interview. So you're going to be Oprah and you're going to have this person you're interviewing, and you're interviewing something about your topic. Okay, so you're going to go a back and forth thing because you are, you have these guests and you're talking about the topic, but it's in an interview format. So they were over there dressed up, and then they have their little microphone thing and they were talking to the guests. And one day we did like, it's a cooking show. Okay, we're gonna do, so we can kind of do creative ways of doing the lesson. It doesn't have to be just you standing. You need to be creative and bring props, and they love that. I brought like chef's hat, and they were over there cooking. But then the topic was our whatever our topic was, is that whatever the cooks were talking about. But they're like cooking, like a cooking show. But anyway, yeah, good job. Look, I can tell that you're very creative. Okay, let's give her a hand for that creative thinking that she had. Very good. Always think outside the box. I always say this to the teachers, lose the box. Don't ever think outside the box, lose the box. So be out there, be creative. My sister Mylet, I always brag about her because every time I go to her classroom, it's almost like it's never the same. She always does something really creative, and it always is tied to the real world. So let me see. She did lately. I have not watched it, but she did a play about the human body. Like the characters would be the different human body, liver, the stuff, all the stuff, heart. In order, they're arguing about who's gonna be the most important, what role they play. And at the end, really, of the play is saying that we all are important. We play a role. Each one of us plays a role. That's why we cannot be saying that you're more important than me, but it's really all of us playing together. But they were able to teach the audience of what the kidney does, what the heart does, what the liver does, and so on. And she does that with her parts of speech. She would have a role play with her parts of speech. Somebody would be a noun, somebody would be pronoun, somebody would be, adjective, adverb. And then they would have this little play that she writes, and the students are acting it out, and she would put a stage. She actually would put a stage in her room. Like in her room would be like this curtain stuff, and then she would have this decoration, and it looks like you really are looking at a show. She would have poetry rap. She would have them make, poetry and whatever the topic is, and they have to present it. They have to memorize it and present it. And sometimes if they don't memorize it, they have the index card and they have to have like the keyboard in order for them to remember. But things like that, anything that you have the kids to perform, you know, because if you're just talking, that's boring. But they will remember those. If you make it funny, like doing a commercial of your, you know, that persuasive, doing a persuasive essay, persuasive topic is gonna be like commercial with one of them, right? Letter to editor is one, but doing a commercial is one. Like, Jean, this would be good for your social studies. So if you're having them to convince them about something, have them to make a commercial. They create their own commercial, and then you are convincing the audience to buy that product,
Yes,
right?
actually, we did that last month po.
You did, yeah. They love that, right? Did you?
Introduction of businesses in America. So
Very
they
good.
did a short commercial po, and then they recorded themselves. We played it in the smart board.
Oh, they like that, right? Because it's very, anytime that they create something, which is, you know, have you remember that Bloom's level now has been, you know, changed up, where it used to be evaluation was the top, now it's synthesis is higher. So if you're gonna, synthesis means creating something new. So anytime that they create anything new based on your topic, they're gonna love it. Right? They're gonna love it. And then they have field trip, what do you call it? You know, those virtual field trip. Have you seen those? You go to virtual field trip. If you Google it, virtual field trip in quotation, and you put like White House, okay? And there is a guided trip that where you are shown the whole White House as if you're there. Okay, and there's so many. If you go to our Facebook support group, there's a lot of virtual field trips there. The links that I showed, some of them, like the state parks, you know, the state parks and the federal parks here in the U.S., national parks here in the U.S., like Grand Canyon and all those, they already have virtual field trips for them. And some aquariums or whatever, some zoos, they have field trips for them, where your students don't have to leave the classroom. You can actually have them see the whole field trip online, virtually, free, right? Yeah. So anyway, so how about y'all? Do you have anything that you do in your classroom that's kind of cool that you do every year because it's fun? You know, we always have our favorite things that we do every year because it's fun for us, for the kids. Share something that you think is neat. Yes.
Can we welcome first Ma'am Michelle and Ma'am Catherine?
Yes, I didn't know you have new. Okay, yes, thank you. Yes, please. Michelle or Catherine, one of you. Can you talk to us?
I'm Catherine, is my sister-in-law. Remember, she attended your Zoom meeting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Catherine. Yeah. Yes. Oh, Catherine, your sister-in-law is here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Oh, and Leslie came in. Leslie, yay.
Abby too, ma'am.
And Abby too, yay. I talked about you earlier, ladies. So hey, let me talk to sister-in-law of Jing, and then we'll go on, and I'll go to you next. Michelle. Where's the sister-in-law? Did we lose her? Who else was the other one?
Michelle, ma'am.
Michelle, do you want to talk to us, Michelle? We always want to welcome you.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
If you're new, we want to welcome you. Thank you for attending, and it's nice to meet you. I'm Merlina.
Ma'am, I have already sent you an email.
Yes, I think I remember that. I'm seeing that name. I haven't. I have to do a confession. I've gotten so busy this week with appointments and things that I have not filed it. I've not put it in my file, so that's why I'm not familiar with your name, you know, very well yet. So, yeah. So, but tell us about you though. Why do you want to come to the U.S.?
Actually, ma'am, I have already with me my documents. I have already with me my FCE, and eventually I have already my NM license. Eventually, I started applying way back February 2022, and by God's grace, I'm next school year.
The what?
Planning to go to the US next school year.
School year. Okay.
Yes.
So have you already gotten interviews?
Actually, yes, ma'am. I had actually 4 interviews.
Wow.
And waiting for the results. They're all direct hire. And actually, one of the schools sent me an email and asking about the, what do you call that, the teaching license in California. Eventually, I have no teaching license in California, and I asked them if I can do the reciprocity If
So
I
it's
can
reciprocity.
reciprocate my NM license, and eventually they did not reply to my email.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, so just keep on. If they haven't replied, try again, you know. So
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, try again, because maybe they didn't get it. Maybe it went to their spam. So do not give up even just one time.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. And I'm going to go to Leslie right now because I want to congratulate her of her husband and daughters coming soon. Leslie, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
I
congratulations.
just woke up.
Yeah. Hi, is your husband and daughter very happy?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, they received their visas yesterday, and I'm planning to book a ticket today.
Oh my
So
God.
they can come here on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they can come and see me in Thanksgiving. Yay,
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
good.
It's my daughter's birthday on the 23rd.
So you,
So
yeah, you can
I'm-
celebrate that here. Okay, good. How about Abby? Abby is another one with a good news about her driving. So I was bragging about how good you did. Huh?
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good evening in the Philippines.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, the biggest news, good news this week is I passed the driver's written test 2 days ago. Was it Thursday?
Thursday.
Yeah, so 2 days ago I have to read the book like for 2 days, and after reading the book, the manuals, the driver's manual book. And after reading the manual, I practiced answering the questions in the app. I downloaded an app, and yeah, because car here is a necessity and we really need to have a driver's license. So when I get there, I didn't know what my score was, but I passed, and I was so happy. I was on cloud 9 that day.
I bet. Yeah.
And I share the news to everyone in my school, and they're so happy for me.
Yeah. Well, what that means is that she could now drive with a permit, and that means that she could drive with anybody over 21 with a license. She could drive now with, you know, in the vehicle. And so that's why I'm thinking that if she would drive my car, it's a 4-hour practice right there, plus on the way back, 8 hours. Yeah. So maybe we should do that. So that, because that's what Maria did. And then before she took her test, she had a few times she came with me and got her practice that way. So
yes,
it's actually the road, you know.
Yes, and we were planning on Thanksgiving. We will, of course, spend the Thanksgiving with you in Salem. And if you don't mind, please take us to the routes, because we were planning to take the driving skill test there.
Oh, you are? Okay. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that because I can show you the route.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You
And
can do
Leslie
that.
will be taking her test on the 10th.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
on
my
the 10th.
gosh. And you're going to be buying a car and you're just going to go anywhere, huh? That's so cool. That's so cool. Yeah, especially with your kids being here, you're going to need a car to go take them to somewhere, Walmart or whatever, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
church. Yeah.
And car is really a necessity. And it's not that expensive compared to the Philippines.
Because you can buy used ones. You don't have to buy a brand new one. Yeah, there's
Yes,
some
ma'am.
used ones here that are, you just have to be careful, make sure that they're not, they call that lemon when it's something that's really bad and they sell it to you like it's good, but then it's a lemon. So don't be buying a lemon. So the trick to that is have somebody that knows what they're doing to look at the engine and all that, Your husband, one of your husbands, right? They know about cars.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So they just make sure that they look at that first, and then always ask if it's how many owners has it been, or has it been wrecked? Does it have a clean title? And that means that it's not damaged. And then
And
yeah.
and our co-teachers here are also helping us look for a car. Leslie is co-teachers. My co-teachers are helping us look for a car that we can use.
Yeah, you can do $5,000-$6,000 car instead of 10 or more.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think Maria is getting hers for less than 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. 2,000 something, right?
$2,000. 10,000.
I know, and that's very good because she saved 10,000 and she got spending that. So yeah, so that's good. But anyhow, all right. Well, thank you for sharing that, because these are steps that teachers go through when you come here. You know, first the week maybe you're so stressed. Jing was sharing today about how stressful the first 2-3 weeks were. You know, and you didn't cry though, did you? Did you
I
cry?
did not. I did
Oh, you
not.
did
And
not. Okay.
last Thursday too, I received a news from my SPED coordinator, district SPED coordinator, a supervisor. She said that I will be focusing on co-teaching.
Nice.
So all of my kids in special ed will be in an inclusive placement, and all I have to do is go to their classes and do some co-teaching. So I don't have to do it.
Jing, can you believe these two do not have to do lesson plans now? Leslie never did. I know, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Don't be showing that out, because that's yeah.
So I would say perks of being a special ed teacher.
Yeah. And but I think that co-teaching though, do not be like the teacher will just make you an assistant. That's what called co-teaching.
Co-teaching.
Make sure
never an assistant.
It's never an assistant thing.
Yeah, because co-teaching should be you should be equal as teachers there, you know? And so a lot of times I go, because I did training for 5 weeks in Chicago on co-teaching. So I kind of know a lot about it. And there are different styles of it. And there's a lot of them. The best style, actually, the best format is when you plan together. You actually would collaborate and plan together. The worst format is when the teacher would just do it and they just kind of tell you whatever to do as if you're an assistant. And that is the worst, because you don't feel like you are kind of included, you know, you're just like assisting that teacher. So you want to kind of have this 50-50 there in the classroom. And sometimes there's a struggle, especially if you work with somebody that's kind of bossy, you know, dominant, square personality, you know, the square. So if you have to be careful about that. So if you do, just kind of, you know, step in there and say, hey, is there something I can do? I really would love to do this. This is my wish or my dream would be to do this, you know, just kind of tell them what you think in a nice way, right? You were having a problem with that. You're so nice. But yeah. So these two got so lucky on the lesson planning. So that's good. Is there anything else that you want to share? Because I know you are special ed. So what are the things that you learn about how to deal with American children compared to Filipino?
Yeah, so the difference is quite huge, especially when it comes to behavior, because as what I was saying, in the Philippines, we can just our eyes, like we just look at them and they would be quiet. But then here, you just can't do that.
They would say, my teacher's mean to me.
Yeah, you just can't do that at all.
Give me the evil eye.
And so last time we were, our housemates, we were sharing about our kids' behavior in class, and we were talking about we really need to change strategy in the way we handle our kids' behavior, because this strategy may be effective today, but not tomorrow. So whatever strategy you use today will not be effective tomorrow. And so you really have to be ready, and you have to be ready in every situation that may come, because today they are so cool, they are so nice, they are so sweet, but tomorrow they'd be grumpy and they would not do anything at all. They would just say, I don't feel like doing this. So, and then
you have to monitor and adjust, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Monitor and adjust always.
So I have to, like, how should I say it? Like, I have to talk to them personally, privately, and you were not like this. This is not how I knew you, and I want to see the first person I knew. So can you show that to me? And they would say, yes, ma'am. So they would start doing the work. And sometimes I would ask, are you okay? Something's bothering you? What's your problem today? You can tell me that. And they would start saying, it's my family, something like that. They would start sharing. And then through that, you can talk him out until they do their work. Like, okay, this is how you do it. You think this is so difficult for you? Okay, let's do it together. And then, can you do the rest of it on your own? And then they would say, maybe I can. And I would say, just call me if you have question, because I also have to go to your classmates and assist them if they have some difficulties in doing this. So they would say, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So all you have to
So
do is, yes.
you got
Yes,
to
ma'am.
bond with your students. They know now, and they love you, so they're going to do anything for you.
Yeah,
And that is
establish
respect.
rapport.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Establish that rapport and respect. Yeah.
Mm.
And also that's in the modeling, you know, when you model that you're kind to the students and you're kind to each other, they're going to do the same. Because if a teacher is mean to the kids, the students are also going to be mean to each other. And
Yes,
that's what I
and
noticed. Yeah. Right.
yes, ma'am. And you know what I shared to you, like I was planning to go home next year in summer. I think I'm gonna share this to everybody. I shared this with you already. So they were asking if I have planned to go back home. So I said, yes, I'm planning to go back in summer next year. And they said, are you coming back? My kids are asking me if I'm coming back. And I said, maybe not. I don't know what future holds. And then, oh, you should come back. And I said, maybe not, because I don't think you like me. I don't think you love me. And they
Just
said,
fishing for
oh,
compliments.
we love you. Please come back. We don't want another teacher to teach us, because we don't know if they would be rude or mean to us. Please come back.
Oh, that's the biggest compliment though. You know, when students say that, you know, they miss you like they do Jing, or you know, they just really, you know, enjoy your class. You know, like Leslie, I observe her in her class, her kids just love her. And she's so sweet with her classes. She's just like, she gets to know the kids, you know, she had this big, great rapport and kindness. And I
Thank
think
you,
that's what we
ma'am.
should do. Yeah. And
But
that's
yeah,
what we should do.
they're really nice. And now
Oh,
they're
you're very
like
nice to
asking me
them.
to do things that I cannot do. Like the other day, they were like telling me that Miss Cabuenas, because I have 2 cheerleaders in my class, and they were like telling me that they want me to be their cheerleader coach next year. And I'm like, oh, I might break a bone if you want me to do that. I'm old. I
Wait,
cannot do that.
you don't really have to show, you just tell them, you know, because you have a cheerleader, leader, like a leader there, and they are the ones doing the work. You're just right there to kind of like
Oh,
guide them.
do it,
Yeah.
ma'am. Right now it's really young, and I'm just too old for that. And I told them that, and I'm like, why do you want me to do things like, they keep on asking me, they want to be their cheerleading coach, and they want me to do this and do that. I'm like, why are you asking me these things? And they were like, well, you're so nice. The Filipinos are so nice. Like they were also talking about Miss Ariola, Miss Marissa. You are just so nice. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Well, that's a compliment again. And you need to at least take one of those sponsorship, because that's actually one of the standards you have to meet, is you're being involved in extracurricular things in school. And so I, like in one school that I taught in Little Rock, we had to do 2 clubs. So I was like the science fair club and the science Olympiad club that would do contests against other schools. I had to do those 2. And so I would meet with them. Like I would meet Monday, Wednesday, Friday on one, and Tuesday, Thursday on the other. And we were doing that after school because that was required of us. And so, and then I did, in my one school that I worked in, I had a chess club that I founded. And I have 70 some students, that K-12, and I had partnered with 10 parents, you know, to help me. different table have a different parent. But yeah, so you should, I would encourage you to do that, to do some kind of club.
I think
You know.
I think I'll just volunteer, you know, at the concession club.
Oh, concession. Yeah, concession is okay too, but I think sharing your knowledge. You have a math club, you have a math whatever, you know, if you have a, you know, form something that you like, you enjoy. I enjoy chess, that's why I did a chess club. So people that like badminton, do a badminton club, you know, something, because in America, you can just open whatever club that you want to, as long as there's a sponsor. If there is an interest of students and there is a teacher sponsor, you can just ask, can we do this? And they will let you do it. My daughter, I remembered my daughter in college, of course that was college, but she formed a Mahjong club. Because I taught her how to do Mahjong. She and her friends really got crazy about Mahjong. And so she had a Mahjong club. She was a president. So she was over there teaching the, you know, in the dorms, how to do, you know, they have a Mahjong tournament, you know. And so they were doing that. Yeah. So
I guess put that on the, on the Thanksgiving break. You
yeah,
have to learn.
I have to learn. I have to teach you budget things this Thanksgiving. Yeah, you don't know any of those. But anyway, okay. So thank you so much for coming in. We're gonna wrap up because I think we have about 15 minutes. So I want to hear from everybody one thing that you learned or you want to share. I'm gonna start with Jing. Jing,
Doc,
what do you wrap up
Doc,
that you want to say?
Doc.
Mike.
Yeah, I think we have a latecomer, but
Oh,
I think I don't know if she is new, Ma'am Erica. Erica La
Let me
Chica.
see. Erica, I don't remember Erica. Erica Rose. Oh yeah, La Chica. No, she's been with us. I didn't know if she has introduced herself before, but
Yes,
I
yes.
think I remembered her.
Let
Erica,
us
have you introduced yourself
let us
formally
welcome her.
here? Erica, you want to talk to us before we wrap up? I try to acknowledge those that are really new here because we want you to know that we really want you to come back, right? So we want to know you, but maybe Erica doesn't want to. Erica? No? Okay. We'll come back to you. Watch Mike. Okay, so how about Catherine? Do you have anything? Did you pick up anything from this sharing? From what we've shared today, did you pick up anything? And April, by the
Hello.
way, is here. Yes.
Good evening here.
Yes,
in the
Catherine, what
Philippines.
did you pick up?
Actually, I've heard a lot from Algenia because she is my sister-in-law, and we talk about her experience there for almost 2 months, I think. And I have actually I have realized that we have really different cultures that we need to adjust and adapt. So actually it helped me it helps me to prepare if in the future I can go there and teach there. So
yep.
I really need to be more creative, especially it's really different kids or learners.
Yep, different
So
learners.
Actually it really helps me a lot.
Yeah,
To
well, that's good.
visualize the future setup of the classroom.
Oh, that's good. Just remember that it's not really the difference is that why, I don't want to have a misconception and I don't want us to feel like we're racist by saying that because they're this color and that's why they behave themselves. It's not that. It's the poverty thing. Our children in poverty, they might not, the cultural differences plus the poverty thing is because they don't know any better. Maybe they'll do better once you teach them, but sometimes their parents are so, trying to work on 2 or 3 jobs in order to just to pay their bills. So maybe they don't have time to work with the kids. So sometimes it comes to us as teachers to help the parents as partners in education that we're helping them, but don't ever make it sound like it's because of this color or whatever. It's because of the difference of the, I guess the difference of how kids do in America. And on top of that is the poverty thing. In the area where Jing and Leslie and them are, and Abby and them are teaching, and Mike will be, and April, they will be, it's because of the poverty. The poverty is like, they are the lowest in that area, in that Delta area, they call it, close to the Mississippi River. That's like the poorest in the whole state. Past me, 3 hours from me is the most, the richest. Like there's more millionaire Mountain Home where my sister lives. There's more millionaire in Mountain Home than anywhere in Arkansas. So they have a lot of retired people from Chicago and Wisconsin, and some people from New York and all that are coming here buying houses, and so they have millions. So they have to open different banks because the bank only limits $250,000 that they insure it. So if you have $1 million, you have to do 4 banks. Because if they go bankrupt, they only get paid $250,000. So if you're a millionaire, you have to use at least 4 banks. I didn't know that until somebody told me. But anyway, okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. Okay, anybody else that would like to wrap up? What'd you pick up? In your classroom, you do the same thing. At the end of your lesson, you need to have like a wrap up. Okay, let's talk about what we learned today. Can somebody tell me what they learned? At least one thing that you learned that you're gonna use. you know, or you picked up. So anybody, it's going to be either a volunteer or voluntold.
Let me just
Yes, Jing.
give my insights po. So
Mhm.
what I really learned is that be consistent in what you do.
Mhm.
Be consistent, and you never know. Today they were okay, and then tomorrow they will not be the same as yesterday. So you need to really adjust, and you need to really know your students. You build a relationship with them, make them feel that you care for them, because in that way they will feel that they are being loved. Because what I experience is that some more of the students, and actually whole class, they are lacking of this care and love from the parents.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
They were looking this attention
Mhm.
from the
And
other
validation.
people. I
Yeah.
think we should take advantage of this to
Yeah.
make them feel this way. And from there, kasi makukuha natin yung kanilang loob,
Mhm.
then we can teach better.
Yeah, I think you got. Yeah, I think you hit it.
Yes, ma'am. As my previous principal in the Philippines always told us, she says that for you to be able to teach the subject, the students should learn to love you. I mean, the students should love you first before your subject, because they cannot learn the subject that you're teaching if they don't like you.
That's right. I don't care to learn until I learn that you care.
Yes, ma'am. So that's the strategy that I do. Sabi ko nga sa'yo, Ma'am Ellen, di ba, yung feed the wild animals para umamo sila sa iyo.
Yeah.
So what I did talaga, I bring food in my class.
She bribes them.
Yes po, talagang I feed my students. Siguro, that's the reason why medyo bumait sila sa akin. And then I can feel na pag mawala ka sa klase nila, hinahanap ka nila, namimiss ka nila. And then they started to share their personal lives with me. Like Ma'am Ellen, I told you before, yung my students na nag-email pa, sasabing absent siya kasi a-attend siya ng divorce hearing ng parent nila. And then there's a student na nag-share about sa kanyang personal life. So yung mga ganun, meaning na they are
comfortable,
confident and comfortable to share those things.
Yeah.
Sa'yo,
And they
kasi
like you. Yeah.
Yes,
They won't
feel
share it with the teachers they don't like.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's a compliment. Yeah. That's a compliment for you. Good job.
And
Yeah.
then try to do different strategies. So you don't want to stick on one strategy for a whole week or for the whole day. So what I did, I always do different collaborations because that's what they like. Because before siguro maybe they focus on just reading or writing lang, but I always do a collaboration, different strategies like jigsaw puzzle strategies.
Yeah, those are good.
So I always do that activities para may sila every day different ang kanilang learning style, kasi they learn in different ways.
Right. Have you used the gallery walk? Did you say you have used it?
The gallery walk.
How did you use your gallery walk? Because everybody uses it differently.
For the whole lesson po, what I did is I make a station in different part of the classroom. I stick the article that they're going to study in different part, and then somebody's going to narrate. So as a five student in my class to narrate the situation there. So I always I did this in my American history class. So somebody will narrate the article, and then they will move from different station, and from there they're going to write up something about what the information that they learned from those narration po.
Very good. And you debrief it at the end?
Yes
you
po.
Do a debriefing
And then
at the end,
we wrap up together, then some essential questions po para mag-conclude dun sa aming lesson.
Yep, I think that's really good. It's like tying a neat bow.
Yes po. But the strategy that they like is the jigsaw puzzle po.
They like that one. How do you do your jigsaw? Do you do like
I group them into 5, and then I make a number. I stick the number in their clothes po para I can see when they regroup again. So 5 members, each group, and then 5 groups then, and then I give them notes, and then after that they will study the notes that I gave them. After siguro 10 minutes they will regroup. The leader will assign the members to go in different group to gather the information that they had.
To be the expert, yeah.
And 5 minutes to gather those information, and then back to the groupings again, and then
Yeah.
put all the information that they had from other groups.
Right. That's
And they're
very
going
good.
to present it.
Yeah, they like that. Anytime that you have them to present, don't they love it?
Yes,
They love
really
it.
like
Yeah. Do you have the audience comment on their presentation, because that makes it
We have
another
the
layer.
rubrics po, like what you said to me before, Ma'am Ellen. The rubrics is very important, and how are they going to grade themselves and their their classmates.
Yeah, so you have a self-reflection also.
Yes po.
And okay, well, very good. I think that's really good, because you want to know if it's a group work. It's not fair to those that work so hard and get 100 when the others were not working. You know, that's why it's important to say, rate yourself from 1 to 10 on how you are as a team, and then give the reason why. So we got a 10 because we all work so well together. You know,
Yes.
everybody did the work, nobody was lazy, whatever. And then, well, we give ourselves a 7 because 3 people were not working, and 3 people were just like free riding. And so anyway, so at least they will, and they will tell you who they are too. And so anyway, it's kind of, because you're not going to be able to be there the whole time. You know, you are going from one group to another. So their own statement would really show you their own, you know, assessment of how they did, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So those are really great strategies that you're using.
And my suggestion po, my advice po sa mga applicants is you focus on your lesson on collaboration and differentiated instructions po, because that's what are they looking for, lalo na sa klase ko po, inclusive inclusion po. I have 5 SPED student in my class that I need to differentiate the instruction, so medyo challenging po talaga siya. So the collaboration and differentiated instruction is the key.
It's very important. Yep, you got it. Yeah, thank you. Is Sinando still here? I want to take a picture of a guy on here that I will post on a Facebook support group. Sinando or another guy. I know I have Mike already. And I have 2 girls, 2 ladies already before. So remember my rule in my classroom, I would say, no, I cannot call 3 girls in a row, 3 boys in a row, because that's not fair. So watch me. And I did already 2 women. So I need to have 1 male now. So are there any males left that I can take a picture of?
Sir Joel po.
Joel, you want to show up yourself?
Wait, ma'am. I was looking for something that I cannot know. Madam, I was out of my house, so I'm sorry for inconvenience, because my wife told me to buy something. And of course, I've learned a lot while listening to you, especially you, Dr. Merlina, and of course, with Ma'am Jing. I've learned a lot listening regarding on how to handle students from America, and it's different from here in the Philippines. Actually, you have to be tough enough if you will teach in that place. You have to be confident enough to show that you are the authority and you are the teacher inside, but there should be also a touch of what we call that a good teacher, and of course the students should also like you as a teacher, or take you as a teacher no matter what. And aside from that, while listening to Ma'am Jing, it's really impressed me up, because the strategy that I have learned a lot here in the Philippines, I can also bring that, if ever, or if in God's will, all right, maybe I can also add something on how to teach. I mean, on how to be a good teacher in that place, probably.
Yep. Well, don't be confident. Instead of if, you need to say when I go there. Positive thinking.
Sorry, I was given a task to buy something outside the house. So, but my signal, my phone is really connected.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Is there anybody else that would like, because I need to end in the next minute or two. Anybody else? Last minute, anything? Well, I
None,
want to
ma'am.
thank Mike for assisting me again, and I want to thank Jing for being a special guest, and Leslie and Abby for sharing, you know, your experiences.
Yes, thank you.
And for
Thank
all of you
you.
that had an April, are you excited about your coming in? Maybe.
Yes, hello, Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited. About actually, I'll share. I would like also to thank and commend Ma'am Jing, who is I think one of my co-teacher. I'm claiming it. One of my co-teacher in Helena West, right? Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Jing, for all the sharing. I know it's not a good experiences, though this will help us a lot when we get there.
Yeah,
For at least, you know, we know that we are in the same situation. You know, we feel that we are not alone.
Yeah.
We will feel that it's just normal for a new teacher like us.
Yeah.
Because,
what subject will you be teaching, April? What subject will you be?
Science, Doc.
Okay. Just make it hands-on. You have Dr. Pineda there, Edison there to help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and actually, we are excited right now, especially that Miss Bonita has filed already our petition.
Yeah, she nailed it. I was so happy.
Yeah, she nailed it, and
they paid the 2,500 premium processing.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
Thank
in
you
2
so
weeks
much
they'll
for
know.
that. Yeah, and Miss Bonita also forwarded me the notification, I think last night, but there are just some misspelled word with my last name. I think that's why she forwarded it to me, but I promptly replied to her email last night. I think that is just for the receiving copy or the notification receipt. Instead of Clementa, it's written in there Chemente.
Are you serious? Wow. Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
didn't catch that one. Sorry. I didn't catch it. Yeah.
But I replied already to Miss Bonita's email last night that it was misspelled.
So how will she fix that? It's already sent.
Yeah, but it was just written in the receipt. I think it's not in the paper itself. So I think they just misspelled it typing my surname on the email.
Okay.
So I just make it clear also to Miss Bonita if it's okay already, then she will email me. So that's it. And you know, I feel so excited, but of course, setting a proper expectation, as I am always hearing from our guest speakers every Saturday, those who are in our council already, we are very thankful to all of you guys hearing those things, you know, not always positive, but those negative really will help us a lot when we get there.
I think you got it right. Yeah.
That's one thing, one reason. That's why I always wanted to attend. So when we get there, we are prepared.
Yeah, you know about the good, the bad, and the ugly.
And don't worry sharing the bad. Don't worry sharing the bad experiences, because we are really, you know, our ears are heading to those experiences, because we really need that.
Yeah, but you just know that you're not alone. You're never alone.
Yeah.
You know, because you will have roommates with you. I will be there every other week in your school. And then you have all kinds of support in Helena. All kinds of support. And there's 15 of you there. You know, when they get here, you know, all of you get here, there'll be 15 of you. So you have the most number that I know so far, because Forest City used to have like 21, 22, and now they're down to 4. So and I asked the teachers why, and they said, well, they just did not feel supported. Like they didn't feel like they have the support. They were just thrown out there and they didn't know. So hopefully they're you know, and the other schools would learn from that and actually put support for you. And I think Helena and Brinkley and Barton have done that by hiring me, because I go over there every,
Yes.
Brinkley, I go every week to see Maria and company. Thank you again. I didn't mean to ignore
Thank
you
you.
today.
Ma'am April,
Yeah, thank you so much.
bring
All
us
right.
bring
All
us
right. So,
Butcheron, ah.
huh?
Bring us Butcheron.
No worries.
Yes, because I'm going to bring dates. Yeah, I
Oh,
will
you
bring
are?
dates.
Okay. Okay. Dates sounds good. Yeah, dates are good. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank
So
you
what
so
else
much,
can-
Doc Morley, for all the help and the
no
effort
problem.
for
You're
us.
still in the Philippines, right? You're still in the Philippines?
Yes, po,
Yeah,
Doc.
you need to bring dried fish for us.
Yes.
Tell everybody
Everything
that.
that I can bring, Doc. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
you need to make it vacuum packed so your clothes will not smell bad.
Yeah, that's
Right,
noted, Doc.
Leslie?
And
Leslie,
thank you also to Ma'am Abby and Ma'am Leslie. I will
Yeah.
meet you soon.
yeah,
Yes,
See you soon po.
yeah, you meet their
po.
husbands. Anyway,
Yeah,
okay, I'll
yes,
just say
thank
bye-bye then.
you.
I try to stick with 2 hours and that's 2 hours and 5 minutes now. So, hi, thanks everybody. I appreciate your coming in. I have not even sent the video from the last 2-3 weeks. So that's how busy I got. So sorry, but I will, because you know I will, because I haven't yet. But anyway, okay. So I will just say bye to everybody then.
Bye,
Okay,
ma'am.
and Mike, don't forget. to
Bye,
give me
ma'am.
a
Miss
rating.
you. See you
Thank you,
soon.
All right, see you soon.
Bye,
Okay.
everyone.
Bye,
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Ma'am
Bye,
Jean.
everyone.
Bye, Abby. Bye, Leslie.
Bye, Ma'am
Thank you
Jean.
po. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Stay safe, everyone.
Oh, let me take a picture of Jing over